Hey everyone, I'm back with another vintage cube draft. We're going to be continuing here the Companion Stipulation series. So what I've got for you this time is going to be Kaheera. So what Kaheera reads is all of the creatures in my deck are going to have to be either cats, elementals, nightmares, dinosaurs, or beasts. The five main creature types on Ikoria. I didn't want to hop right into the Obosh one after doing Gerudo in the last video, so yeah, we'll try something that's a little bit weirder, I guess. I don't know exactly what I'm planning on doing with this. In Constructed, oftentimes with Kaheera, you see decks that just don't have any creatures in them at all, so maybe we'll shoot for something that's like a spell-based combo, or a a control deck of some kind. We can still play the pitch elementals. So we'll just see where it takes us. This is going to be Stip Draft Kaheera Edition. Alright, we're not going to be able to draft this Orcish Bowmasters, which I think would ordinarily be one of the best picks here. Now I wonder about starting right off on Yawgmoth's Will and just going full Storm. Again, I think Storm is one of the archetypes that is going to be affected the least by this stipulation. We are going to miss out on stuff like Spellseeker, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could draft this Subtlety, but I don't think we have to do that just because it's an elemental. Yeah, let's start right on Yawgwill and see where that takes us. Let's see. So starting on Yawgwill makes me want to go immediately for anything that can be mana positive. We don't have anything like that in this pack. Reanimate is, of course, a really strong card, but a lot of the traditional payoffs are going to be missing. Sword of the Meek is another option. A card that is part of a non-creature based combo for sure. Or we could just go for Underground Sea and try to stick to our Yawgwill while staying kind of open. Sword of the Meek is the kind of card that wheels anyway, I think. Let's go with Sea. Fractured Identity is another card that's potentially good in some kind of creatureless control sort of shell. Titania is an elemental, so we would be allowed to play that card. Or we can go with Coveted Jewel and try to lean more into the combo aspect. I feel like Fractured Identity is the strongest card in this pack, so I think I'm going to draft that, and we'll see how the rest of the packs shake out. Hymn to Turok. Or perhaps Palantir? Palantir is also a pretty good control card, as is Cryptic Command. Trying to put Fractured Identity and a double black spell in the same deck might be a little tough. Maybe we'll stick to Palantir, or we can grab the Badlands and have better fixing for the Yawgwill, although I haven't seen a lot of powerful Storm pieces yet. Let's take Palantir. It's one of the more open picks. Bonehorde Dracosaur is in fact a dinosaur. Crabomination, not allowed though. Time Warp is an interesting option here, and so is Seething Song. I think we can probably get Seething Song back around. I don't think people draft rituals very highly, and I think they're usually right to do so. Whereas Time Warp can bring us in a combo-y direction, or possibly even in a sort of controlling direction, depending on what the shell looks like. Alright, let's give this Time Warp a try. Snuff Out or Celestial Colonnade are both pretty powerful here. Colonnade could be fixing for the Fractured Identity as well as a control win condition. Let's pop the sideboard out here. I think I'm going to scoot the Yawgwill over here just for now. And yeah, let's go with Colonnade. It's even an elemental. Uro is not a card we can put in our deck, unfortunately. Pest Infestation and Talisman of Progress are both really powerful here. Stoneforge is banned. Yeah, all these creatures are no good. So it's probably between Oust, Pest Infestation, and Talisman. I'm not psyched about trying to move into green here. And Oust is not really a hard removal spell. I do think that card is pretty good, but I think ramping is potentially even better. I'm going to go with the talisman here. True name, no good. No More Lies versus maybe Watery Grave or Cabal Ritual to try and backdoor back into Storm here. Cabal Ritual plus Yogg Will is pretty good. I think leaving that possibility open is maybe better than taking what is, for the most part, just worse mana leak in this format, in my opinion. Alright, we'll keep the Storm deck on the back burner here. Lorien Revealed is a great pickup. Yeah, I don't think... It's probably between that and Vindicate, I guess. Because we do have the fixing for something like Vindicate. But I think Lorien Revealed is a little bit better here. We can also put that in a land slot. Sword of the Meek did come back, as expected. Cannot play Steel Seraph. Coveted Jewel. I wonder if we can get that Manifold Key back and continue being more combo-centric. It's going to be hard for us to ramp into this, but we can keep an eye out for other ramp spells. Let's do it. Let's go Broken. I don't know if there's a Time Vault in this version of the cube right now. Manifold Key could just be for stuff like Grim Monolith, Mana Vault, etc. You could take Damn. I don't know if we're the deck for it right now, but we'll see. Saheeli could potentially be good. Soul Cauldron, interesting. It is our only legal option here, and we can't play the Evolved Sleeper. Soul Cauldron doesn't seem to go in our deck right now, and it's also going to be hard to make it work with so few creatures. What can combo with Soul Cauldron that is actually within our restriction? I'm not really sure. Okay. Phyrexian and Praetor are no good, that's for sure. Spirit Knight also no good. Wow, we can hardly play any of the cards in this pack. I guess we can take Mystical Tutor and try to wheel the Elemental Eruption. Or we could draft Scalding Tarn. I think we want the Mystical Tutor in this deck. I still don't know exactly what we're doing, but it seems like something that Mystical Tutor might go into. Preordain, Lightning Bolt, Strip Mine, Odawara. It's tough to be an artifact ramp deck without being able to play any of the big artifact creatures. And we also can't play something like Thassa's Oracle. We're going to need to find Tendrils or Brain Freeze or something. Okay, none of these creatures are allowed either. We could take Rogran Triome. That's probably fine. There are going to be potentially some red storm spells we care about. We're almost back into Yogg Will territory. We do need... Let's see, we can access black mana and white mana off of Lorien Revealed right now through the Triome and the Sea. Not being able to draft that Baby Jace is kind of a bummer. Fast Bond. Now that's interesting. Is that better than Frantic Search here? Probably not. We have no way of casting it currently. We're not going to get it back around. Fast Bond feels risky to me. We did see a lot of fixing so far this pack. And we don't really have any ways of generating a lot of card advantage right now. I'm going to take the Search, I think. And we'll start to move this Yogg Will back in here. We still haven't figured out how we're going to win the game. But if our opponent puts something onto the battlefield, we can Fractured Identity it. Nothing. I also think it's likely we get Elemental Eruption back around. I don't think that card is really that good, honestly. We can't play Thoracle, unfortunately. We could take Swords. Or even Balance. We've got some artifact ramp here that could be good. 2 white sources currently, 3 if you count the Lorien. Balance might be it, actually. We've got artifact mana. We've got ways of maybe emptying our hand. Mystical Tutor is good with balance because you can take that card and keep it on top of your library instead of actually having to discard it. Alright, let's give it a go. Okay, we can't play any of these creatures. We can play Reign of Filth, though. We're still so close to a Storm deck. We just need to find any card that says the word Storm on it. Oh, interesting. So, Fire Covenant is really powerful removal. So is Collective Brutality, potentially. Escape to the Wilds is the stormiest card here. I wonder if we should take this Kaito just so that we have a way of winning the game. It's so bad with what we're doing right now, though. I guess it lets us draw cards, discard cards to our Yogg-Will, dig for our combo pieces. Okay. Alright, we'll give Kaito a try. Well, Show and Tell seems really bad in this deck. We could take Daze. Or we could take Infernal Grasp. Is Daze even good in Vintage Cube? I don't think I've put this card in a Vintage Cube deck maybe ever in my whole life, honestly. It does seem bad in a Storm deck, right? Like you don't want to unramp yourself. Alright, let's draft the removal. Our deck is slow. We're going to need something. Elemental Eruption is a card that says Storm on it, so we're just going to have to draft it at this point. And anything that fixes us for red is going to be a really high pick. We've got this Triumph, so a lot of fetch lands are going to do that. We've already got the only land cycler we're actually allowed to play in our deck. I think. The red one isn't a beast, is it? Maybe it is. Okay, we can play Carnosaur. We can also play... yeah, we can play Carnosaur or Silent Clearing, basically. Maybe we want Silent Clearing. Just better fixing here. We are in a lot of colors. Okay, clearing it is. Mind Collapse is going to be hard to actually cast, but Razorverge Thicket I don't think is very good here. And the rest, well, I guess, was this the Fast Bond pack? I don't think so. I don't know if Mind Collapse is actually going to make the cut, though. Just like more fixing. Maybe Pyroglyph, though. This card is really messed up. Alright, splash the Pyroglyph. Sold. Crop Rotation is our only legal choice here. Probably not going to make it. And... oh, we can't play Pyroglyph. Alright, got distracted. And can't play this either. Grim Monolith is here. We didn't end up finding that key to untap it. But that almost certainly means it's not coming back. And it does help us cast Coveted Jewel. I think mana positive spells are just very good in your Yawgmoth's Will deck. Okay. I'm sold on Grim Monolith, I think. Time Twister. Tamiyo also really good. And so is Flooded Strand, and so is Jace. Ooh, okay. Jace is a way of actually winning the game here. We do already have the Elemental Eruption, but the number of win cons we've got is really small. We did pass an Orcish Bowmasters in pack 1, so this Time Twister is definitely not coming back. Okay. I'm in on Twister. We've got one Storm spell. We might be able to find another one. See how it goes. Mystic Confluence, pretty powerful. Can't play Fallen Shinobi. I also think you can't play Grist. Not that we would want to, but I think I remember there being something about Grist not being able to be your commander, and they changed the rules slightly. Alright, Confluence seems really good here. Pentad Prism, Memory Jar, Mana Leak, Upheaval. Is this an Upheaval deck? We've got a couple of Planeswalkers. We've got a Palantir of Orthonk. We've got a couple of Mana Rocks. We have no Moxen or anything like that. We're kind of close to Upheaval. And that card is really powerful. So is Mana Drain, though. Maybe we can Mana Drain and see if we can wheel the Upheaval, or maybe even the Memory Jar. One of these two cards. Okay, Mana Drain it is. I am worried about our fixing here, but here's Tendrils. We kind of have to draft that. That actually makes our fixing a lot better by proxy because we get to cut this double red spell. Okay, now I think our deck is quite good. Sucks to pass Treasure Cruise, but Tendrils is very important here, I think. This is a cool pack. Dismember, really good. Zuran Orb, not that good here, probably. Fabled Passage. I do like me a Fabled Passage. That card is pretty powerful. Dress Down is totally fine here, but we're not going to be able to do anything cute with it because we can't really play creatures. Is this deck going to end up having 0 creatures in it? That's pretty cool. Right on the tail of Creatureless Cube, too. Can't play the Bat. Savine's Wreck, kind of medium. Everflowing Chalice, maybe fine. Expressive Iteration, possibly worth the splash, honestly. We can cut the Fractured Identity and the Balance. Or we could draft the Everflowing Chalice, which is good with Balance. Let's draft the EI and cut the White Splash. We cannot play Dragon's Rage Channeler. We could play Thought Scour or Talisman. Talisman is better if we think the Upheaval is coming back around. Thought Scour is better if we're trying to be this like Yogg-Will deck. Thought Scour is also more likely to wheel in my opinion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, never mind. Nothing's wheeling. Huh. I'll take the Thought Scour. I think that's correct. I'm going to regret this when the Upheaval comes back around. Can take this Black Cleave Cliffs, which we'll fix for our EI. Showdown of the Skalds is also pretty powerful, but that's going to be like a double splash here. Oh, the Jace did come back. Do we want that over Tamiyo at this point? I think we do. It's going to be hard to cast the Tamiyo. We have this Razorverge Thicket and this Fabled Passage. Sea Chrome Coast is probably a little bit better than Spellbomb if it turns out that we want the Balance or the Fractured Identity. Spellbomb's pretty good. Bounce your Reanimator thing. Extra Storm Count, draws a card. Yeah, alright, sure. Memory Jar came back, but so did Tundra. I don't know how I'm feeling about Memory Jar. We already have one wheel. Do we need the second one? Maybe. I also think the Balance and the Fractured Identity are maybe worth it. Imperial Seal comes back. That's really good. And Concealed Courtyard. Can't play this card. Okay. Now I feel like the White Splash is kind of good because we ended up with more white sources than I thought. Balance is tough on a Storm deck because it potentially makes us go down cards in hand, which is one of our most important resources. Having both Imperial Seal and Mystical Tutor for the Yogg-Will is probably just very good. Do we want Fractured Identity in this deck? That could be maybe sideboard against... I don't know. I guess it's good against basically every deck, but it's also bad with our main game plan. This is already 23. What if we just build it like this? Sword is no good. Soul Cauldron's no good. This is a blue-black source. We have no white spells. We might want the Silent Clearing anyway. This is a blue-red source. That's probably fine. Fabled Passage is good. Courtyard doesn't matter. Celestial Colonnade we can't really activate. Red-black source for Expressive Iteration. And then the Flame Slash can probably stay in the sideboard. Okay, I think this is probably a fine way to build this. Are there any cards in our deck that are worse than Fractured Identity just on rate? Because I think we can cast it pretty easily. Are we willing to shave a land if we have Preordain and Thought Scour? Probably not. Our worst card here is Kaito, I think. It could also beat Jace. Jace does just draw us a card every turn, and it fuels our Yawgmoth's Will. We don't have any real way of decking ourselves. I guess Palantir, like Palantir plus Jace is kind of interesting. We could cut the Kaito. The Kaito is something to do on turn 3, though. A lot of our 3-drops are not actually something to do on turn 3. Like, you don't want to slam Yawg-Will turn 3. Twister is sometimes fine on turn 3. We could also cut Infernal Grasp and bring it in creature matchups. Just rely on our Spell Bomb and our Mana Drain. Plus we're bringing in Fractured Identity, which is also a removal spell. Kind of like this. The Lorien Revealed can get all of our colors untapped except for red. And it can get tapped red. Okay. We're going to have to play at least one of each basic. Besides a forest, of course. So 1 mountain, 1 plains seems correct to me. Because we do want that Fabled Passage to get all of our colors. And then this is not enough black sources at all. Not even close. Okay. How many blue sources? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, sorry, 6. Plus the talisman, which is 7. Black sources, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. We need 8. Yeah. So how does that look? Our mana is pretty good, honestly. It's just our card quality that's the problem. I don't know. Sometimes this deck is going to do something very cool, and sometimes it's going to do something not at all. But yeah, that's where we ended up with. As you do see in Constructed sometimes, Kaheera is free if you've got no creatures in your deck. So here's our creatureless Storm deck featuring Kaheera-less Kaheera. Okay, I just went and ate dinner and came back and immediately realized that if I'm not going to put any creatures in my deck, I should definitely be playing Balance. So let's get that in there. I'm not totally sure what the cut is here. But currently we've got 17 lands, if you count Lorien Revealed. We've got 2 cantrips, we've got 1 mana rock. We might be able to shave a land. We could also shave the Jace. Jace and Time Twister is a Nombo, sort of. Time Warp, maybe. Kaito's ult doing Stone Cold Nothing is kind of embarrassing, but it does make creatures. Do we have enough ways of getting through our deck here that we don't need Kaito? It's going to be really hard to cast this Jace. Alright, we'll shave the Kaito, see how that goes. Alright, let's head into match 1. Alright, we are on the play in match 1. 2 lands, neither of which can cast EI. If we find a 3rd land, we get to Palantir, or Saheeli. Seems loose to keep a hand with no castables in it. But we've also got 2 cantrips and a mana rock that can get us out of this. So it's kind of like we have like 20 good hits probably. All right, let's give it a try. Concealed Courtyard. That works. It does not get us an expressive iteration, but it does get us a Saheeli or a Palantir. Retrofitter is scary. We can go Talisman, but then we can't go 3-drop. Let's start off with the Palantir. We already have the Ogwill, so getting milled is actually pretty good. Let's, I think they're gonna mill these anyway. I'll put this on top, and I'll put this on top as well. So they take 6 there. Coalition Relic. And make a counter. Okay, so here's my land. I'm gonna get to go Talisman Saheeli, and then probably just pass. Blue and colorless, and then next turn is going to be Time Warp, which is pretty good. I don't think I'm going to activate the Saheeli here. And Monolith is fine, but not that good. Let's go top. I think they're likely to mill. Cool. They've got Fractured Identity for my Palantir. All right, that's a bummer. I will mill. They hit Subtlety. Okay, balance is kind of awful here. We could just Time Warp. Make a 1/1. Which also ramps us next turn. Yeah, I really wish we still had that Palantir. That would make this Time Warp a lot better. But we're kind of building towards a critical mass of Yogg-Will spells at this point. Mana Drain. That would have been useful just a second ago. So let's see. If we Yogg-Will, we can Grim Monolith, and then we will not have Coveted Jewel mana, or Time Warp mana for that matter. I think we're going to want to Yogg-Will next turn after we get to point this Mana Drain at something. If we balance right now, we get a 1/1, and we get 1 card from opponent's hand. I think we can maybe do better than that. Let's just attack. If we can get something good with this Mana Drain, this might be like an actual Storm turn, honestly. See a bunch of mana. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, 4 additional mana next turn is going to be very good. I do not want to give you a card. You can mill 2. You don't look like an Emrakul deck to me. Mana Crypt Consider, pretty good. Okay, so we get 4 colorless mana here. We also have a swamp. So let's Yogwill. I'm gonna Yogwill with Concealed Courtyard, Swamp, and Talisman, I think. We can always make a servo into a talisman if we need to, but we can also make it into a coveted jewel, which is probably better. Oh, actually, we don't have to do that yet because we have this colorless mana. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to always yield to this. Here's our Yogwill. We can cast Grim Monolith. We can tap Grim Monolith for triple colorless. I think we can safely play a swamp here to get that coveted jewel out. We have enough black mana right now. And we'll tap this. We'll cast the jewel. They're at 10. So, Mystical Tutor. We can Mystical Tutor and then we can Time Warp. We can also Fractured Identity. We attack them for 2. Meh. If we Mystical Tutor for Tendrils, can we draw it? Yes, we can, but we don't have enough black. If we turn a servo into Coveted Jewel, we can tap it for black. We Mystical Tutor, and then we Expressive Iteration, and that's 1, 2, 5, 8 total mana, which is enough to do all those things. Storm count is going to be 6, which will kill them. Okay, I think I did that right. Target artifact you control becomes Coveted Jewel. So I think what I want to do here is Mystical Tutor. Oh, we're short of blue if we do it like this. Oh no, because we can preordain instead of Expressive Iteration. So we put the Tendrils on top. And then we tap this for blue instead of tapping it for red. We cast Preordain. We scry 2, we draw a card. We put this on the bottom. We put this on top. We draw a card. We make black mana. We cast Tendrils. We target. We pay 2. And some triggered abilities go onto the stack. Okay. Pretty neat. A little Stormwind there. Let's head to the sideboard. So opponent is probably some kind of blue-white control thing. We saw Fractured Identity, we saw Subtlety, and we saw Retrofitter Foundry. So I don't feel the need to bring in this creature removal. I think we're just going to leave it as is here. We could maybe even take out the balance, honestly. Which cards are not good against control here? Spellbomb is probably kind of medium, although it's good against Fractured Identity. I think there's an argument for trying to get that Kaito back in. Okay, let's get rid of balance here against the Light on Creatures deck. Gonna be on the draw this time, of course. We've got a Thought Scour, we've got a Spellbomb, we've got Natural Tron. This looks pretty good to me. Cameo. Pretty sick. That's a good reason to have creature removal, I guess. Oh no. Okay, they're gonna strip my blue source. That's pretty bad. Probably just gonna cycle this. Let's do it now. Okay, found another blue source. I feel like I've played against a disproportionately large number of opponents in the last couple of weeks that have had Strip Mine and Mana Crypt. Okay. That is going to be a combo card for sure. I don't think we saw the actual monolith out of them. No, we didn't. Alright, 3 damage down. Every lost crypt flip is another storm count we don't need. I don't think we're going to Mystical Tutor here. I am going to Thought Scour myself, I think. They have a spell bomb of their own. Joke's on you. I don't have any creatures in my deck. We drew Frantic Search. That's kind of cool. Palantir, okay. Gonna get that onto the battlefield. They are drawing a lot of cards. I'm gonna bottom both of these. Heh, never miss. I'm sure we're gonna see a Fractured Identity again, but yeah, okay, neat. Let's play that game over again. All I have to do is find a ritual of some kind, and we might be in business with the Yogwill. I'm 1 card shy of Threshold, but I think if I don't draw anything meaningful here, I'm probably just going to Mystical Tutor for Cabal Ritual. Lorien Revealed can get us another island. I think that's fine. And then if we Mystical Tutor for Ritual and then we Yogwill, we can Mystical Tutor Frantic Search and kill them, I think? Yeah. I'm gonna get the Triome. Gonna play the Triome. And now we have 7 cards. So if we Mystical Tutor, we get the Ritual. We could have done that upkeep, maybe. They've been missing a lot of crypt flips. Okay. Lion's Eye Diamond is scary. We only need to cast 3 spells. We can actually just Mystical Tutor for... No, we need more mana than that. Okay, I think the Cabal Ritual line is good. Return the Mana Crypt to your hand. Okay. That's pretty funny. They revealed a Blightsteel. Are they about to do something very scary? Oh no, my cool hand! Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that sucks. I can't even do anything with this Mystical Tutor. Well. Tutor is still here. We drew the Ritual. Okay, let's think. So if we Mystical Tutor for Yogwill... No, what if we just Mystical Tutor for Tendrils? Reign of Filth and Cabal Ritual and Talisman should be totally fine. Staff of the Storyteller, sure. Hit me for 2, down to 13. Grab this tendrils. And that should be it for now. Gonna draw tendrils for turn. We're gonna cast Rain of Filth. We're gonna cast Talisman of Progress. We only need black mana to actually do this. Sick. Well, despite getting our Palantir Fractured Identity twice, we still managed to 2-0 that match by the power of tendrils. I will admit that Mana Crypt did most of the work during that game. But still, sweet match, GG's. Okay, let's hop into match 2 here. Hopefully we will continue to play against decks that are about as slow as that first one, because if anybody puts a gut onto the battlefield, I think we're done. Alright, on the play in match 2. Land, Thought Scour, Luring Revealed. I like all this. It's not all there yet, but it's playable. Opponent starts off with Hedge Maze. They're going to surveil 1. It looks like they left it on top. Alright, for me, I am going to go... Maybe this is a good time to grab a black source. I could do that end step, though. Yeah, so let's let's just Luring Revealed now. I'm going to try to find that. I'm going to go ahead and grab that Underground Sea, play that for turn, and then we can end step Thought Scour. Opponent has Pentad Prism with 2 colors. Gonna target me. We milled Palantir Talisman, but we did draw tendrils. Okay. So we're kind of getting somewhere here. Let's commit this a Healy. I wonder what blue-green Pentad Prism deck means for us. Oh. Uh-oh. Minsk and Boo? No, Tamiyo. Far less scary. Opponent is upticking Tamiyo, Collector of Tales, and naming Time Walk. Oh no. Well, they milled 4 lands. Grim Monolith. We can Monolith into Coveted Jewel here. If we Monolith now, we can cast... No, we can't cast Coveted Jewel until next turn. We could do it off of Cabal Ritual. Let's play the Monolith and pass. We'll hang on to the Spell Bomb for Storm Count next turn, I think. Because if we get to cast the Coveted Jewel, we might be in Tendrils territory. We do have to still find a Yogg-Will. But turning the Servo into a Grim Monolith and then drawing 3 cards is very good. Of course, they might just kill me with their sweet Time Walk deck. Name Time Walk. Oh, they found the Time Walk. Okay, well, I guess they're taking an extra turn. Nadu. Scary-ish, but not that scary. They're probably going to hit the Saheeli, but I honestly don't mind sacking the Saheeli to turn my Servo into Monolith. I think we're just going to have to go for it. Oh yeah, they get to take a bunch of extra turns here. So Saheeli's just dead. Oh, they went for... Yeah, okay, so they go for Saheeli here. They're going to take another turn, and they're going to take another turn after this one as well. But luckily, it kind of feels like they're spinning their wheels a little bit. Okay, they went for the Ewit this time, which is smart. Time walk one more time. Kill my Saheeli. Sakura Tri-Builder. Sack the Elder right now. Interesting. Okay, going off without the second Grim Monolith is going to be a lot harder. Okay, this is the last turn they have stacked up for now. There's the Minskin Boo. I'm glad they didn't cast that on turn 4. So I'm going to take a bunch here. They get to trigger Nadu off of Minskin Boo. That's pretty messed up. Okay. What do I want to do about that? Should I cast the Cabal Ritual? No, I want to have Mana Drain up. Sick. 2 for 2 also on drawing Mana Drain off of opponents' draw 7s. Okay, they drew their Time Walk again. I think I am going to Mana Drain this. I can't let that Minskin Boo activate again. Oh, they have counter magic. Oh, I can pay for that. I think I'm dead if I don't pay for this, as unfortunate as it is. Let's see, if they do take an extra turn. They haven't attacked with the Boo yet. Yeah, I can't let them take another turn here. They have another counterspell? Yeah, okay. Well, I think I'm just dead. I will block the Ewit now because I have no reason to keep the servo around anymore. And I'm drawing Mana Drain for turn. So I'm almost certainly dead here. I'm already taking... I'm taking 10. They named Vaultborn Tyrant and missed. They can deal 11 to me, actually, because they can fling the Minskin Boo. So I'm not quite dead. Bummer. I feel like we had a shot this one. If we had survived with that Saheeli. I guess when you get 4 turns and opponent gets 8 turns, then it becomes a little bit harder to win. There's the Tyrant. They could have killed me if they'd just cast that, flung it at me, and then attacked for 7. So I'm getting a turn here that I shouldn't, but I'm still going to lose. Yeah, so I can play a tapped Black Cleave Cliffs. I can make an untapped land with Fabled Passage. I just, Oh, I should have Thought Scoured in my upkeep. I didn't think to put a stop there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do here. I will draw a card, I suppose. I would have drawn Frantic Search. I don't think that would have been enough. I could have Imperial Seal, Frantic Search, Yogwill. Yeah, I don't know how we get enough mana out of that for that to be anything. Okay, opponent has a bunch of really powerful planeswalkers, which means Fractured Identity is going to be really good. Balance remains good here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to leave it as is. I would love to go first. Alright, we have the Mana Drain start. That's pretty good. I'm going to keep. I have discovered that there's a setting to turn that auto yield on, but I keep forgetting to turn it on, so. Alright, now it's time for the Mox Emerald. Just cast a 4-drop or something. Steve. Pentad Prism. Okay. I think I'm going to draw a card off of the Spell Bomb here. Balance. Interesting. And now what we can do is play the Swamp and cast the Talisman, and we still get to hold up Mana Drain. Mana Drain into Time Twister is pretty sick. So is Marine of Filth into Balance. Alright, we'll have to see what the next turn brings. We have some pretty interesting lines here. Like, what if we Mana Drain, and then we Rain of Filth, and then we Balance, and then we Coveted Jewel? Oh, what if we get punished for leaving our non-basic up? Oh, come on. Oh, okay, it didn't matter. Thought they were going to slam a Minsc and Boo. I was going to be very upset. Nissa who shakes the world. Well, that's terrifying. That would have been a good target for Mana Drain, but instead we got Wastelanded. That's pretty embarrassing. So, if we have them sack all of their lands, where does that get us? Pretty much nowhere. Maybe they'll try and slam a Vaultborn Tyrant and we can try to do it next turn. Alright, we're going to take a bunch of damage from this Nissa, but we'll see. We'll see where we can get. They've got access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Five is pretty good. Now they want to untap first. Oh, if this is Vaultborn Tyrant, that would be crazy. Okay, they've got a land. Ugh, okay, 4 is enough for me, I guess. They've got 3 cards. Planar Genesis. If this puts another land down, we're kind of cooking. Okay, let's see. We're going to grab some mana here. I really think that the balance, Rain of Filth balance line is kind of good. They have 3 cards in their hand. So we're going to have to discard one. We could Coveted Jewel first, but we'd rather... I think we would prefer to have those cards afterwards. So let's sack this, cast balance. What are we discarding here? I think we're discarding tendrils. We can Coveted Jewel into Time Twister, and then we can... Now, we really don't want them to have another forest. That's the thing. So maybe Time Twister is just bad here. Okay. This way we can cast Coveted Jewel. We can draw a land, hopefully. Okay, Palantir is pretty good. Stormcast has 3 right now. That doesn't really matter. We can play Fabled Passage. We can Palantir. Okay. I think that's fine. And then we can Time Warp. Maybe I should fetch first to increase the total mana value. Cabal Ritual is kind of whatever here. I'm going to put this on the bottom and this on the top and try to ding them for 2. Okay, they're at 18. They found a land. It wasn't a forest, though. They get to take the jewel. That's probably gone forever unless we draw Fractured Identity. So Time Warp is mostly out of reach here. If we find Yogwill, we might still be in it. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, probably dead now. Underground Sea. Yeah, we're going to play that, I guess. We're not literally dead next turn, but we're pretty close. They can also open this if they want, but I don't think that does anything. Fractured Identity. We can't cast next turn. Well, yeah, we'll bottom this, we'll top this. They're probably going to mill. Hit them for 13. Other one was a land. And yeah, we are in bad shape. They did want to ult the Nissa. Interesting. So they get to get all their forests out. They're going to go onto the battlefield tapped. So Yogwill... Oh, they get Time Walk. So they get to attack us for 3. They get to Time Walk. They get to hit us for 5. Oh, they tapped their land. Okay, that creature has vigilance, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. They should have attacked first. Still not looking good. But we're going to take 5 down to 4. If we draw Yogwill, we can Rain of Filth and balance again. And of course, they're going to have Coveted Jewel. Narset. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Vaultborn Tyrant definitely kills us. Oh, they're the ones with the upheaval. Yeah. Okay. So I get my Coveted Jewel back. Was this good for me? I feel like this was good for me. They didn't float any mana. I'm kind of confused. All their lands have indestructible, I guess. Yeah, they get to X-Blow. I don't know. I didn't feel like I was in this game at all, and now I do. Okay, problem with Thought Scour is if we mill Yawgmoth's Will, we just lose. So I might actually Thought Scour opponent here. They only have 16 cards left in their library. They fetched almost all their lands out. I drew Preordain. Okay, we need to keep the Tendrils. That might not actually be true, because the Tendrils we can cast out of our graveyard if we draw Yawgwill. But the Time Warp is really unlikely to matter this game, I think. So is the Palantir for that matter. Well, okay. I'm going to bin the Tendrils, because that's only relevant on our Yogg-Will turn. Preordain can dig us closer. They get 2 more lands. Minsc and Boo is definitely really bad if they draw that card. Here's Jace. Oh, they milled the Minsc and Boo. Oh, I'm so smart. Here's a Talisman. They've got Mana Leak, Memory Lapse. That's fine. They get to play 2 more lands. They're going to draw off of Jace. They get to Time Walk. I guess they could Upheaval. Oh, they plussed it. Okay, here's Lotus Cobra. Preordain. Jace. Jason Grim Monolith. Okay, I definitely want to draw Grim Monolith. Jace can go on the bottom. Draw this card. Play the Talisman. Pass the turn. I kind of feel like we're getting somewhere. Next turn is Grim Monolith into Coveted Jewel. Grim Monolith into Coveted Jewel into Time Warp, maybe. We need a storm count of 6 plus the Tendrils. So Yogg-Will, Reign of Filth, Cabal Ritual are all just kind of free. And then we've got a good number of cantrips in here. They're going to hit me for 2. Frantic Search, that's pretty good too. If we go see Monolith Jewel, this is my only white source, but both of my white spells are already in my graveyard, so that's not going to matter. One, two, three. No, we can't cast. We could Frantic Search. We could Palantir. Are we going to die if we Palantir? Probably not. Okay, we'll Palantir now, and then we will try to Coveted Jewel next turn. This is complicated, especially with the extra turn spell in here messing up my storm count. Mystical Tutor I would like to draw. I'm going to put the EI on the bottom and the Mystical Tutor on top. If they give me the Mystical Tutor, then that's really good. And if they don't, then the EI is on the bottom, which is fine. Maybe maybe EI on top would have been better, so they mill it and then I get to keep the Mystical Tutor. Might have done that a little too fast. I'm going to take 3 down to 4. Eternal Witness. So they can get Time Walk, and they can attack me for 4 and I lose. Yep. Unfortunate. Okay, well at least the Palantir stack didn't matter. Would I have had it drawing Yogg-Will this turn? If I drew Yogg-Will, I could Time Warp, see an extra card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. I think I could have killed them if Yogg-Will is the top card in my library. GG's, opponent. Alright, we are on the play in match 3. 2 lands, Talisman, Time Twister. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff in here. Let's keep it. Alright, opponent goes basic swamp and passes the turn. Alright, let's go island and talisman. That's all I got. We need a third blue source if we want to cast this Jace. But if not, we can always just Saheeli. Ancient Tomb. Oh, Dark Confidant. Okay. Ancient Tomb into Dark Confidant is definitely going to make my job a little bit easier. Here's a Palantir. Yeah, I'm going to lead on that. Just keep doing this chip damage. Alright, let's bottom both of these. Another swamp. I'm going to just yield to that. Botanical Sanctum from them. Now would be a good time to play the Sanctum, I would guess. Any further down the line and it will enter tapped. Yep, there it is. Ignoble Hierarch. They take another 2. Caustic Bronco. Alright, they're set on taking a bunch of damage and drawing a bunch of cards. Greatness at any cost indeed. Alright, here's our island. If we cast the Jace now, it's going to die. The same is true of the Saheeli, so I wonder about just Time Twistering here. We both have 5 cards in hand. I kind of want to wait until I'm a little bit lower on cards. I could effectively cycle the Jace here. Draw a card, fog them. Yeah, okay, that's probably pretty good. I am going to mill myself here. Drew a Mystical Tutor. That might justify a stop on my next upkeep. Can we do better than that? We're about to Time Twister anyway, so it probably doesn't matter that much. 4 damage. Is that enough? Is that more than average? Probably not. Well, between the lands. Okay, let's top. They gave me the mana drain. Okay, they're getting scared. They just revealed Fury with no red sources. Okay. I guess balance is going to be a crazy draw, so we don't have to worry about this stop anymore. They've got access to 6 mana this turn. Time Twister and balance is kind of a nombo, huh? Okay, they are going to pitch cast the Fury here, exiling Fire Covenant. I assume 4 of that damage is going at Jace, and then they get to deal me... Oh, they can actually crew the Bronco here. That's pretty good. Oh, they did not do that. Right? Yeah, I think you can do that. That's going to be pretty meaningful, I think. Taking that extra damage with the Bronco is going to hurt. I'm actually going to put that upkeep stop back, just in case I find myself in a situation where Mystical Tutor into Yogg-Will is just lethal. So currently that would be Mystical Tutor for Yogg-Will, cast Cabal Ritual, cast Yogg-Will, cast Cabal Ritual, cast Tendrils. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so if they take any additional damage here by tapping the Ancient Tomb or attacking with the Caustic Bronco, then I think I have them. Okay, they did saddle here. So that's going to deal me some damage. I can try and get them with the Bob, I guess. Or the Palantir, for that matter. I assume they're killing the Jace. I've already seen the Fury and the Sanctum. Don't need these anymore. They might actually just go for me, though. It's kind of a lot of damage. No, they're attacking Jace. Lelia. Scary. Still no red sources over there. Duress. Okay, that's a bummer. They could take my Mystical Tutor, and then I still get to balance them. If they don't take my Mystical Tutor, I probably just win the game. I do need a second black source, though. So the Cabal Ritual is also a choke point. This is a tough decision for my opponent. They don't know that I have Yogg-Will in my deck. They went with the Time Twister. Okay, that means they are dead, I believe. Cycle Unearth. Let me check my math again here. Mystical Tutor is 1. Cabal Ritual is 2. Yogg-Will is 3. Cabal Ritual is 4. And then I can just cast the Mystical Tutor again for 5, 6. So I need to hold up one of the black sources here so I can Cabal Ritual again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to be down 1 card in my graveyard. I'm going to pay, I've got 5 mana here. I'm going to pay 3 of it down to 2. I'm going to Cabal Ritual. Oh, and then I can't Tendrils. I'm actually down a mana. Is there anything I can do about that? I don't think. Alright, I messed it up. We can cast Saheeli. Yogg-Will, Cabal Ritual. Yeah, I needed that 7th card. Okay. We're not quite dead. The question is, do I want to cast Saheeli or do I want to hold up Mana Drain? I'm going to hold up Mana Drain. Okay, could have kept that Cabal Ritual. That's going to be not good. But we do get to do this. We are not yet dead. We're going to bottom this. We're going to top this. They're going to give us that. I'm going to get a tapped treasure. So if I cycle the Lorien Revealed, I can get another mana. I'm about to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That opponent, I think, is dead on the backswing. Storm's tough. Oh, right, the Lelia. Because the Hierarch is a red source. I forgot about that. They've got Blooming Marsh and 3 unknowns. Lelia is going to deal 3. I think that puts me to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that puts me to 1. Oh, I could have Mana Drained the Lelia. Okay, that's probably going to kill me, because now I can't even cast the Mana Drain. I got too distracted by the prospect of cycling the Lorien Revealed and just threw the game away. Well, I can go to 1. Zeator's Proving Ground off the Lelia. Mountain off the Caustic Bronco. So currently I've got Yogwill, Cabal Ritual, Mystical Tutor, Tendrils. And they've got something scary over there. They went to 9. Mind Twist me for 4. Okay, so my Yogwill is gone, and so I'm probably just dead. I don't want to draw land, so I will Island Cycle this. But I don't know what I can have at this point. Okay, I think I punted that game. Expressive Iteration. Well, I can cast it. Time Warp, cannot cast. Mystic Confluence, also can't cast. Alright, well let's put the Confluence into my hand. And the Time Warp on the bottom. I can cast the Preordain. That is not balance. But I can bottom this, and I can put this on top. And then what I can do is cast the Frantic Search. Oh, I have no blue left. Alright, what I can do is kill myself with Talisman. Okay, well that was a little embarrassing. But this is finally the matchup where we bring in stuff like Infernal Grasp and Dam. What do we take out here? Jace kind of sucks, because they just attack it. The same is kind of true of Saheeli, but Saheeli is really powerful with Coveted Jewel and Grim Monolith. So I'm going to leave those. I wonder... Yeah, I don't actually know what the last cut is here. Mystic Confluence seems pretty good. Fractured Identity seems pretty good. Could run the Fabled 41. I wonder if Palantir is too slow. It does deal them some damage, though. Getting chip damage in before the Tendrils is kind of important. Okay, I'm going to cut the Palantir. I think once we start getting to the part of the game where the Palantir is relevant, we're already pretty favored. That's kind of where I'm at. Okay, this hand is fine. We can cantrip with the Spell Bomb. We can find something with Tutor, maybe Balance. Oh, I can take this stop off. And this being our only blue source, we kind of have to play it. Starting off with Ancient Tomb. Okay, that's a good sign. Mana Drain, no way to cast it. That's not that good. But let's play our Swamp and cast our Spellbomb. And we'll see if we need to bounce anything with it. And if we don't, then we will probably cycle it. If we can find an untapped blue source for next turn, then I think that's very good. Especially with the Ancient Tomb. They take another 2, and they make a 2/1 to crew their Copter with. Works for me. So they're going to crack in for 3, bring me down to 17. We'll see what they loot away. They pitched a swamp. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a card. Drew Yogwill. That's spicy. And here is Dam. So next turn we'll be able to wipe the board. That's good. We don't have that second blue source, so I think what I'm going to do is run out the Grim Monolith and play this Plains. I guess we could have kept up Mystical Tutor, but the thing I want to draw the most right now is probably still Basic Island. So putting a spell on top is not useful right now. If they commit a bunch of stuff to the board somehow, then maybe. We can go grab that balance in my upkeep. Let's put that stop back on, just in case. Alright, pitching Blooming Marsh this time. And we take 3. There's the Botanical Sanctum, and here's a Birds of Paradise. That is fine. I don't think we need to wipe the board quite yet. We've drawn Swamp. Well, we could wipe the board once with Dam, and then potentially wipe the board again later with Balance. I don't know, we're just kind of sitting here for now. I think we can wait one more turn before we commit a board wipe. Could maybe even cycle the Silent Clearing. Okay, let's play the Silent Clearing. We'll think about cracking it end step. We've already got access to double black and double white here. They have, okay, a cycle. They're gonna Mind Twist me here. Looks like it. Alright, kind of punished for not finding that island, but it is what it is. We are gonna Mystical Tutor here. And we can just grab Time Twister, I guess. That will fill our hand right back up. I think we might want to keep the mana here instead of having the extra card, because we're going to cast Time Twister anyway. This is probably our spot to tap the Grim Monolith, because we need some removal here. Okay, we found the Yawgwill back. I think what I'm going to do is play the Fabled Passage so I can thin another basic. And then we'll see how that goes from there. Having Mystic Confluence next turn might be really good. We can also play the Celestial Colonnade and try to block with it. I think thinning one more land is worth it. Oh, what if we just untap the Monolith here? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's a reasonable use of our mana. This is the part where they lay us. Alright, Hierarch is 1 extra damage with the Copter. Barrow Goyf. Scary, but not that scary. And here is Smuggler's Copter. You're going to crack in for 5. I'll go to 6. Alright, we're going to need something crazy here. Preordain. Not that crazy. The best thing we can do here is like preordain and hope to set something up with Yogwill. I think we're dead if we don't preordain. We could wait one more turn and Mystic Confluence their attackers. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's wait the one more turn. I think I want to play basic here because I already have another untapped land in my hand, and then I don't have to take 1 damage off of the Mystic Confluence. So I'm going to wait for them to commit their creature, crew, and then bounce all of their attackers. And we can try to storm off next turn. Oh, they didn't want a crew. Okay, I guess we'll just bounce, draw a card. They do get to blow up the monolith here if they want. Okay. I can cast it from my graveyard next turn, maybe. Shieldbreaker is back. So if we preordain and we Yogwill, the only mana positive thing we have going on right now is Grim Monolith. Harvester, okay. So if we don't string it together next turn, we probably lose. Barrowglyph is back. We could also find a board wipe. I think it all starts with preordain, probably. We could EI first as well. Underground Sea. Preordain is more mana efficient, and it also sees the same number of cards. We just don't get to keep as many of them, I guess. Okay, bottom. We drew Infernal Grasp. That's not that good here. So if we Yogwill, and then we still have a land. So we have 6 mana. Yogwill puts us down to 3. Grim Monolith puts us back up to 4, and then we can tendrils for 4 copies. Okay. I think we're going to have to do that. They don't have us dead from 14, right? 5, 9. They could, depending on how the Barrowglyph shakes out. I still think we have to do this like this. We need to have double black left over. Oh, we actually can't have double black left over. No, we can. We just can't have double black and preordain left over. No, that's not true. We can't do this at all. Are we just dead? We could expressive iteration for balance. That's our last out. Okay. Well, we can crack Ether Spellbomb for balance. Hand, bottom, exile, Ether Spellbomb, cast it, draw a card. That's not balance. Okay, so if we kill the Barrowglyph and they have absolutely nothing, we go to 1. But we have to take 1 damage to kill the Barrowglyph. And also 2 more damage to kill the Barrowglyph. Alright, we're dead. GG's. Alright, well, Storm continues to be very hard to pilot. Maybe eventually I'll get better at that. But Yeah, that was kind of neat. I wasn't going into the Kaheera Stip assuming I was going to be creatureless Storm, but it kind of makes sense in retrospect. So I guess on the whole, we ended up with a relatively traditional Vintage Cube deck here. So maybe this wasn't the... This probably wasn't quite as interesting as the first Stip, but I'll keep running through them. I'm having fun building them and drafting them at least. So if you have any preferences on which one I do next, hit me up in the comments. And in the meantime, we'll just see you next time.